Hey, what's up guys? Darkbreaker here, and for today's video, let's talk about item builds. Item build guys for beginners. So, we will categorize it in warriors, solo laners, jungle, ADC, support, mages. What are the best core items? Why am I talking about core items? Because you can't generalize the best item build, because for every champion they have their own unique item build, but most of the times for one role they use one or two core items that are used overall on most champions. For example, warriors. A lot of warriors go for Trinity, for Death Dance, Guardian Angel. Core items for one role, and that's what we're going to do. Obviously, there are so many different champions here, so many different champions. We can't do item builds for every champion. Also, you have to consider for every team composition you're facing, there are different item builds you have to adjust to, different items that you need to buy when you're facing heavy AP compositions. Then you want to go for magic resistance items. When you play against melee champions, you go for Ninja Tabi, you go for a lot of armor. But that's just about it. Let's start with warriors. So, for warriors, what are the best items? What's the best example? I guess Camille. Camille. Main core item is going to be Trinity Force. For a lot of warriors, Trinity Force is the first core item. It gives HP, damage, attack speed, mana, and ability haste, 25 even. And what makes it so good? It's going to be Spellblade. Using an ability causes the next attack within 10 seconds to deal bonus physical damage equal to 200% base physical damage, 1.5 seconds cooldown. Great core item for, I show you right here, Wukong, Fiora, Jax, Camille. What else? For Darius maybe. Darius, you can switch between Trinity or Black Cleaver. For more tanky bruisers, you might go for Black Cleaver. Where is it? Black Cleaver, I don't see it. Oh, there is. Oops, here. Black Cleaver gives max HP, AD, ability haste, and armor shred. It's good for tanks that want to have some damage but more sustain than Trinity Force for more damage orientated bruisers. So Trinity Force, number one core item for most warriors. Black Cleaver for more tanky warriors. And then also Yumu's Ghostblade for assassins in the jungle. Assassins in the jungle. But, or maybe for some heavy burst damage warriors, you can go for Yumu's. Garen, you can go for Yumu's as well, for Garen. It's not burst, it's not bad, but Yumu's got nerfed, so I don't put Yumu's that high on warriors anymore in the solo lane. For most assassins, Yumu's is really great in the jungle because of its cheap gold value. It's just, compared to Trinity Force, 3.7k, and Yumu's just 3k damage item, and then you just go full tank most of the times on junglers. But let's keep focusing on warriors. First core item, a lot of times, it's going to be Trinity Force. Second core item, what is it going to be? You have option 1, more damage. It's going to be Death Dance. Fiora, Camille, Darius, Olaf, Death Dance, a really great second core item. HP, damage, ability haste. 40 ability haste with Trinity and Death Dance. It's going to be good for those champions I just mentioned, but also for some other champions. And 10% physical vamp and cauterize. 30% of damage taken is instead dealt as bleed effect over 3 seconds, which is a pretty nice effect to not take all damage immediately. Second core item is also going to be Guardian Angel for a lot of warriors. So they go Trinity Force, Death Dance, Guardian Angel, and the order might be Trinity Force, Guardian Angel, Death Dance. But those 3 items are core items for warriors, for a lot of warriors actually. Those 3 items. And afterwards, the next best core item, flexible item that a lot of warriors go for is going to be Sterak's Gauge. Plus 400 max HP and heavy-handed, a really good passive. Plus 50% base attack damage. And then Lifeline, damage that puts you under 35% health, grants the shield equal to 75% bonus HP that decays over 3 seconds. Sterak's Fury, triggering Lifeline, increases size and grants 30% tenacity for 8 seconds. So those 4 items are really good for bruisers. Can't emphasize it enough. So for most bruisers, if you go for those 4 items, you're Gucci. It's really good. And then you can also, let's talk about some situations where you want to change your item build maybe. Maybe you're facing Akali. Maybe you're facing Gragas or Kennen. Then you can go for option number 1, more of Malmortius. It's not bad. Maybe you just want to go for the tier 1 item, which is going to be Hex Drinker. So instead of Sterak's Gauge, you can go for Hex Drinker into more of Malmortius, which is going to be a great magic resistance item for bruisers. If you are playing a tanky bruiser, maybe you just want to go for this item at the beginning of the game, Spectre's Cowl, which is going to give you some more magic resistance and sustain, which you can finish into Spirit Visage, great for champions that have self-sustain, Fiora, Darius, Olaf. Or you go into Adaptive Helmet, the best magic resistance item in my opinion that you want to buy against magic comms in the late game. Adaptive Helm, great magic resistance item. Other option, Thornmail is the best physical, one of the best physical armor items. Reflex damage and grievous wound. Renew's Omen, you get it when you face champions that have a lot of attack speed and critical damage. Yasuo, Vayne, stuff like that, for example. Sunfire Cape, trash. Varmox, trash. Frozen Mallet, trash. Deadman's Blade, it's good for Darius, for example, maybe for Camille. Iceborne Gauntlet, mostly used on Malphite, otherwise not that much used. Abyssal Mask, also used on Malphite. Champions that need mana and are tanky. Abyssal Mask, magic resistance item. Iceborne Gauntlet, great for Malphite, great synergy. That's about it for the warriors, and maybe in the late game, super late game, Mortal Reminder for physical damage penetration. So let's talk quickly about the damage penetration items, which are going to be Mortal Reminder for ADs. Any physical champion wants Mortal Reminder in the late game unless they have true damage. And the mage version, it's going to be Void Staff, one of the core item for every mage in the late game, Void Staff. So that's going to be it for the warriors. Let's hop for the jungle. And 5th and 6th item always depending on the enemy team composition. Maybe you want some more armor, maybe you want some more magic resistance. And that's going to be it. And this also applies for most junglers. Most junglers go Yumu's Ghostblade, then they go Guardian Angel, and then full tank. That's going to be it for most junglers. Some other junglers go Trinity Force, Guardian Angel, full tank. Or Trinity Force, Death Stance, full tank. Olaf, for example. But it's mostly Humus or Trinity core item into Guardian Angel core item and then into full tank. And then full tank, you have many options that I just told you. Jungle, quick and short, very simple for most junglers, except for maybe Amumu, Evelynn. But for physical damage tanks, it's going to be this build. For mage tanks, I mean, Amumu is probably going to be Liandry into maybe Death Cap, Rylai's, Void Staff, and then tank items. Evelynn, the same. I guess Liandry, Lichbane, Rabadon, Void Staff, and then maybe Guardian Angel, stuff like that. But since we are talking about mages, let's talk about mages. Mages is super simple. Mages, super simple. If you want to scale and play safe, Road of Age, great option for beginners. Another insanely strong core items for every mage, Liandry's Torment. Deals 2% more damage for each second in combat against champions capped at 10%. Damage abilities and powered attacks deal 1% of enemies' max health as bonus magical damage. Liandry is probably the best core item for almost every mage in the game. So you want Liandry's. Then Death Cap. 130 ability power and increases ability power by 40% HP. By 40%. Oops, my bad. Yeah, Liandry's, Rabadon, insanely good core items for every mage. Then, if you want magic penetration in the late game, Void Staff, really strong. For on-hit attackers like Twisted Fate, Fizz, Lichbane, very good. And for heavy, hungry mana champions like Orianna that want to keep poking, I think for poke champions, this is probably the best core item. Archangel Staff, Orianna, Lux, they go for Archangel. Gunblade, only used on Akali. Nashor's Tooth, only used on Teemo. Infinity Orb, also very good core item for Gregors. Any champion that goes more melee. If you have an AP champion that goes melee, you want Infinity Orb. Great core item. Rylai's for more tanky champions that want to slow Amumu, for example. Luden's Echo for poke champions like Ahri. Morello, a good flex item if you want Grievous Wound for Mundo, for example. But yeah, let's talk about core items, which are going to be Liandry's, very good. Rabadon, insanely good. Void Staff. Those three are played on almost every champion, pretty much. Archangel for pokers. Lichbane for melee champions with on-hit effect. Road of Age, if you want more sustain in the early game, but it's going to be a scaling item. Otherwise, that's going to be it for the mages. ADC. ADC is pretty simple, to be honest. The core items are going to be Blade of the Rune King for almost every ADC. Infinity Edge for almost every ADC. Humus Ghostblade. I guess Humus Ghostblade is more for Jhin and Misfortune. Mortal Reminder, of course, late game. Core item. Guardian Angel, also core item if you want more sustain and survivability. Yeah, but most of the times people go Infinity Edge into Rapid Fire Cannon or into Runan's Hurricane. Then Mortal Reminder, Guardian Angel. So those are the core items, core crit item combinations. So combo, core item wise, it's going to be Infinity Edge, Rapid Fire Cannon for almost every ADC that relies more on auto attacks. And for ADCs that rely more on abilities, it's going to be Humus Ghostblade, and then Infinity Edge, and then Rapid Fire Cannon. But those three items are very important for ADCs. Also Runan's Hurricane and Blade of the Rune King. And then for the late game, you want Mortal Reminders. So ADC is very simple item build. If you get Infinity Edge, Rapid Fire Cannon, a Ruinous Hurricane, and Mortal Reminder on most ADCs, that's going to be the best items. Item order might differ, and maybe you want Guardian Angel earlier. But yeah, Blade of the Rune King, Tristana, Kai'Sa, Jinx. Who else? Misfortune goes for Yumus, same for Jhin. Ezreal, Ezreal is different, he goes Mana Immune. And no Infinity Edge, because he's more like a ADC poker. But any other you just want, if you want a heavy damage, crit, attack speed based ADC, Infinity Edge, Rapid Fire Cannon, Runes, Mortal Reminder, Guardian Angel, and Boots. And let's talk about supports. I think supports are going to be the last. And most of the times you want to start with Boots, just so you get the support enchant, which is going to be Locket enchant or Redemption, also very good. Locket gives AoE shield, and Redemption gives AoE heal, gives vision or AoE true damage. And then depends on the champion you're playing. For Alistar, you want to go full tank. For more supportive supports like Lulu, Janna, you go Ardent, which is going to give, when you heal or shield an allied champion, both of you gain 10 to 30% attack speed and bonus magical damage. And your attack deals bonus magical damage. Or Harmonic Echo, moving and casting abilities build harmony at 100 harmony. Your next healing or shielding ability cast on an ally restores 7, so you get extra heal when you have a healing champion. Nami, Soraka, and if you have shields, Janna, Lulu, Ardent. And for more Alistar, Braum, they just go Locket into full tank. So that's going to be it for supports. Pretty simple. Let's maybe talk about the best boots as well, which is going to be Mercury for almost every champion, since it gives you tenacity. For mages, you want to go Yonan, Boots of Lucidity, which is going to give you ability haste, really good to spam your abilities. Ninja Tabi if you're facing a lot of physical damage. Boost of Swiftness, maybe on Misfortune. And for champions that want to roam. And for the enchantments, the best enchantment is probably Sonya's, really good to avoid damage and let your team have time to help you. Swift Glory for bruisers that want to reach into the team fight and try to keep up and not get kited. Protobelt for combo, like any ultimate combo Protobelt or cannon. QSS, Quicksilver, is going to be to remove crowd control. This is pretty bad, maybe for Darius. Redemption, good for supports. This is not used. Teleport, very good for split pushers, always used, so you can join team fights. I think that's going to be it for the item build. Yeah, like I said in the beginning, item builds always differ on the opponents you're facing, in the lane and in the game. Enemy team composition is very important, and depending on how well you're doing, you can go for more damage. And if you need more sustain, go for Guardian Angel. That's going to be it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like, subscribe. I see you next time. Bye bye.